What is up, everybody? Welcome to Nerd Initiative, where we are talking season 5, episode 3, post show of The Boys. Spoilers ahead, of course. The show is out there, episode 3 only. Last week we had the first 2. Now we're on episode 3 of 8 total, and it is going by way too fast. This episode, we kick things off with Ryan, the long awaited Ryan. We've been waiting for him to appear. Everyone's kind of like, where's Ryan? Where's Ryan? And Lauren, we start off with him. Where do we pick up with Ryan in this episode?
So we pick up, we're like in Russia, and all these people are just like randomly getting mutilated, and we don't know who it is. We're thinking, what is this? Is this a super
like a horror movie?
And it's Ryan, and he's like, I don't want to kill you, but nobody can know I'm here. I'm like, really, Ryan? So he's like, I don't want to say full dark side, but he's pretty close. So like he's just, he's close to killing a room full of younglings. But he's,
to be fair though, he's killing like people looking for him, right? And he's kind of doing it for self-preservation reasons.
But he could have just dipped and not gone back.
They're also bad. They're CIA people or whatever.
I mean, he's a kid. He's 18.
They're working for Homelander, dude. Come on.
But all right. So after we see this, and I mean, they even do like the red eyes, and he's a little dark side. So we got Soldier Boy rebranding. He's now part of the Seven. He gets a Democratic Medal of Patriotic Freedom, and we hear the music that is definitely not Captain America music, but definitely not Captain America music.
He looks so annoyed too the whole time,
and then it like fades. I know, I love him so much.
He's just he's literally me at work. Anytime I have to do anything, that's the vibes. Anything, it's just. He just wants to, poor Soldier Boy just wants to rip coke and bang strippers and be left alone, but his son won't let him for whatever reason, of course.
I mean, that's what kids do. They stop you from,
you can't do anything. God, back in my day, back in the day, I used to do strippers and blow and no kids would mess with me. And now look at this. Now I'm getting the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Ugh. But while this is going on, you obviously see Homelander getting a little jealous, and then he hears what sounds exactly like Madeline. Oh, my poor sweet boy.
Yes.
Homelander steals Soldier Boy's spotlight by telling the world that he's his father, because he did. It's like just like planned with Ryan. And did you see Sister Sage? She's like,
she's mad. Well, yeah, because this wasn't all part of the plan. She's pissed because, and rightfully so. I mean, Homelander's not happy with the fact that Soldier Boy's getting all the credit for XYZ. He's getting all this. Look at this. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Homelander has to be like, yeah, well, he's my dad. He just wasn't loved enough as a kid. And so that's how
definitely
that
wasn't loved enough as a kid.
No, I mean, once we saw it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, at least he brought him a Fudgy the Whale cake. But then was the Homelander's like, oh, they're describing us as America's sexiest dynasty. And Soldier Boy's in the background like, what's wrong with this child? Like, how is this my genetic?
He's like, you're disgusting. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, he's also pissed that he got Butcher sent after him, basically. He's like, you sent me on this mission. And it's like, what the hell?
You knew this would happen. And he's like, I knew you'd be okay because you have the V1, obviously. But just bull crap.
Right. He didn't really know that. But of course, the boys see that he's alive and they're shocked. And it made me think of the scene. I actually do want to make a TikTok with this. I'll probably put it on our Geeks TikTok. Where it's like, you remember Roy and Walt shoot Sam and Dean, and seasons later, they're like, oh, we killed you guys. They're like, yeah, it didn't stick. No hard feelings. and the scene where obviously at the very end of season or episode 2 we see Soldier Boy just sit up in the body bag, and I saw somebody did a reel that's like, this is what happens when you cast a Winchester.
But where's the lie? That's great. I love that. Well, oh my god,
Supernatural fans are having fun with Soldier Boy being back. Yes, myself included. I am loving every second of it.
Oh, absolutely.
So Soldier Boy's like, F you. He does a lot of that. And I saw somebody comment he's getting out all the bad words he couldn't say on Supernatural, so he's saying them all in the voice.
Jensen just showed up on one set one day and he was like, can I cuss on this? They're like, yeah. Right. He goes, sick. Awesome.
Oh. And did we mention the name of this episode is Sons of Bitches? Every one of you sons of bitches. And that was Dean Winchester's go-to line was son of a bitch.
It is. This is a very Soldier Boy forward first couple of episodes as well, which is kind of a surprise. We knew he would be back, but I didn't think he would be a big focal point the way that he is,
especially because he's not in episode 1 at all. It's just, you're just seeing him, still sleeping. But yeah, I agree, especially because season 3, he was a big part of it, but it was almost like a tease. He didn't show up till episode 3.
He really wasn't fully
and
there.
It was a flashback. Yeah. And
So he's there.
it felt like his story was very short lived, but I feel like we're fleshing him more out now. And I think with Vought Rising, they're
Yeah.
definitely setting us up for that.
Yeah.
So the boys see that he's alive and they're like, how is he alive? We saw him die. And Samir goes, he's got V1. And he's like, shit. So he explains that Frederick, who was the husband of Clara or Stormfront, this was the first Compound V batch. So this is the OG batch. Thousands were killed in doing this research, and 5 survived. And those 5 are Soldier Boy, Stormfront, Bombsight, Torpedo, and Private Angel. Now, obviously, we know Soldier Boy and Stormfront are. These other 3 we have not met. However, all 3 of them are listed on IMDb in Vought Rising.
Which is exciting because, they're
setting us
pumped
up
to see I mean, it's the OG team. I'm pumped to see them go through this. I hope they start from, before they got the V1 to all of that. Like I want all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's really cool too, that they're like, even if they're just name drops, it's fun to be like, oh, when that person shows up, oh, we've heard this name, we're already getting invested. And I think that's really cool. But so Soldier Boy asks, he knows who these other 3 are, but he asks, well, who's Stormfront? I don't know who that is. And he looks at Sage and she's like, oh, that's Clara. You probably knew her as Liberty. That was Clara Vought. She was married to.
Yeah, because he had no idea. And that,
right. She was
he gets a complicated look about him at that point too.
Yeah, there's clearly some history there. Homelander only got the new one because people were saying that like it had been destroyed a long time ago, but I thought that when Godolkin when that burned in that lab, I thought that was V1 because remember like
I thought it was too.
And like he responded favorably. I think it is V1. Yeah, because they even say that in the show. That's why he looks young, even though he's burned. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it was. I was starting to question myself. Okay, thank you. I almost edited my review from last week because I had written
No, it was, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's all been destroyed. There's no more V1. And Homelander realizes this is now a race for V1 because he needs it and because he doesn't want to be immune to the virus. So Soldier Boy tells Homelander that when he's old, he'll run the 7, and he calls him pathetic and calls him the softest boy. It's like, you're the softest boy. Ugh.
Well, in their hunt to kind of now the boys are kind of figuring out what to do. That's when Samir kind of, hey, by the way, guess who's still alive?
Oh,
no, he doesn't know, does he?
Not yet. He doesn't know his daughter's still alive. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't know that. That does happen in this episode, yeah. But I do love how Samir explains why the virus didn't attach to the cells. Like he does a little diagram and he's like, there's nothing for the virus to stick to with the V1.
Right.
All right. So the boys are like, we need to find the V1 so we can destroy it before Homelander gets it so we can kill him. And Homelander's like, I need to find the V1 before they do so that they can't kill me. So the race is on. Annie's like, I know where to start. She finds Stan Edgar, thanks to Marie Monroe. So we then get to go to the bunker that we saw in Gen V.
Surprise.
So she asks Edgar about V1, and Edgar is not happy that they're still working with... Edgar not happy. They're still working with the people who killed Vicky. He's like, why? I don't want to talk to you guys.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I know, but you're working with Butcher still. I'm upset. But he does end up taking them into the underground bunker because they're like, look, come on, you know who Homelander is. Help us out here.
Basically, they are like, we don't want to work with Butcher, but we kind of have no choice at the moment. It's one of those things, right? And Edgar, he gets it at the end of the day. And that they do go down to the bunker, which is hilarious because Translucent Sun is there. Surprise.
And he smells like, what is it, like something peach Axe body spray?
He's covered himself in cologne, and they're like, oh God, yeah. And so it's kind of funny because you don't actually see...
Like, it felt like an Abercrombie with an Arby's in the corner, like to 7-Eleven.
But then obviously, Huey is pretty broken up too because he killed, but he at first he's kind of wary. He's like, oh God. And that's when his son goes, yeah, Homelander killed my dad. And Edgar's just like...
That's the go-to. They just tell everybody Homelander did everything.
Yeah. And he believes it. He buys into it and all of that stuff. So...
Because that's what they told Samir too, that Homelander killed Vicky.
Yes. And, their daughter is still there. She's not happy with any of this. She kind of sneaks out and Ryan shows up. And we get to see a little bit of Ryan.
She calls Ryan.
And gonna have a little talk there. It doesn't end well. Ryan gets his little eyes going because he doesn't want to kill them. He wants to meet up with them, and she's very much like, no, go in there and kill those guys. They killed my mom. And Ryan's like, well, no, time out, hold on, Butch. They're not bad people. Like, everyone's just kind of misunderstood, if you will.
Yeah.
And after she kind of disappears, Butcher ends up basically, it was a trap. Yeah,
he's like, I can smell you, Butcher.
And he comes out and they have a talk. Really, they do. And Ryan, they kind of have that talk where Ryan's like, you just want me to, use me essentially. And Butcher's like, yeah, but you're not ready yet. And Ryan took that personally, unfortunately. Which
he told him, he's like, you need the virus. And he's essentially like, you're asking me to kill myself. And he's like, yeah, but he's like, this isn't what your mom wanted, but you could save thousands.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure to put on an 18-year-old kid.
And he's also clearly got some issues too, but
yeah. Well, and this has been like nonstop though. It's like they've been grooming, like Butcher's been like subtly trying to groom him to kill Homelander since he got him.
And then Homelander was trying to groom Ryan to be like him. So the poor kid was groomed from two sides of the coin his whole life. And he's never really gotten to know peace or really a full loving family because, granted, he was a kid, the whole stuff with Becca, and then she dies and he's still very young and kind of gets taken and all of that stuff. So the kid's just been on the run since. I don't really blame him, but he agrees to do it though. He does finally agree to do it.
Well, Homelander would always get upset with him that when he would be sad that he like killed somebody. Like, what was it? He thought he was upset about something random, like about a milkshake or something, but he was upset he had accidentally killed like the stunt coordinator.
Yeah, and he didn't understand that because they're just humans.
And that's when he says the line that's straight from the comic book, like the humans are just here for our amusement or whatever, when he's talking about that. Yeah, that's good.
But,
meanwhile, though, so we have Homelander, obviously the scenes are going back and forth, but we have Homelander crashing out at Vought Tower, and we keep hearing that music that we always attributed with right after he killed the Starlighter. And then and then everyone starts cheering. And you hear that do do do. I know it's a famous song. I don't know what it's called, but they're playing that a lot. And I feel like it's like every time he gets more evil or falls more like down this whatever.
Because you're expecting to like crash out and kill somebody at any moment when you hear that too.
But then he sees Madeline as an angel, my sweet boy. She tells him he's about to become divine. A true God, baptize the unfaithful in their blood. All that will be left are the faithful, true believers, which I always assume is a nod to Stanley.
This leads Noir, Deep, and Dognot to be out there. They find them. They end up getting to the bunker. They're trying to get in, of course. Which that's when Translucent Sun finds out that Huey's the one who killed his dad, and it leads to
revelations.
His butt whooped in that.
Poor Huey, though. He's like, let's stop this generational trauma now. Like, let's stop. Like, maybe we can. Like, I don't know what he thought. Like, he was going to do good by Translucent and give him V1 to make up for killing his dad. Like, now you're just making this kid immortal.
Like, what are you doing, man? Like, come on. And doesn't work out so well for old little Translucent there, who they all end up getting kind of, there's an entanglement down in there. Everyone's kind of getting after each other, but the team does ultimately escape at the end of the day.
But so we're jumping ahead though. That's at the very end. So one of the lines not Homelander, one of the lines Butcher uses against Ryan to try to get him on his side. He's like, we're on like the same team because we both love the same woman and we hate the same. See you next Tuesday. And I thought that was
he's cute. Not wrong. He's really not wrong.
But speaking of that, see you next Tuesday, we also find him bathing in breast milk from the NICU.
Yeah, and Soldier Boy walks in and he's just like, "What the F? What is wrong?"
He wants Soldier Boy to find the V1.
And he stands up and he's like divine, and he tells Soldier Boy that, and Soldier Boy's just like,
he's like, dude, you're just so weird, dude.
What is wrong with you? Every scene between these two is just gold, because Soldier Boy's just like, dude, what is your problem?
And then Homelander stands up completely nude, looking at Soldier Boy, and as Soldier Boy walks away, he's like, why don't you get some Just for Men for your gray pubes? Which normally though that would have been a sore spot in season 4. Remember, he was collecting them, and now he feels like after he's seen Madeline and had this divine revelation. Yeah, he's like, what have you done with your immortality? He spent a lot of it on ice, But
not against
he's
his
like,
will.
I'm going to do good. And so now that doesn't seem to be bothering him as much. And he's got Sage. He's like, I want everybody out there looking for it. And I want our lab nonstop working on it to get the V1.
Yes.
So, but yeah, Huey and poor Maverick even bonds with him over his dad. And then he's like, wait. I also killed my dad. That's not gonna
He's
help.
like, what is wrong with you?
But so what they're doing though, so when they go to Edgar's place, they find all these documents. He's like, here's all my files on V1, but a lot of them are redacted. And MM and Frenchie are determined, like, okay, this is encrypted old technology. We can figure this out. We can unredact this.
Copy it, and then you'll be able to see through. Essentially, yeah.
So Frenchie takes some stuff and goes off and goes back to the place, and that's where he's going to figure out all these documents. And MM's like trying to do he's like, there's more encryption power in your toaster today than there was in a computer system back then. And so that's when Frenchie goes back to where their lab is, and Zoe sneaks with Frenchie and Kimiko. Yep. And Frenchie has that moment with Kimiko where they talk about 3 kids and a dog.
Not boding well. I feel like there's some foreshadowing, a lot of foreshadowing between everybody, because they're all talking about when this ends, and it's like, I don't think most of you guys are going to get out alive.
Well, I think they know they won't all get out alive, but I mean, I don't think anybody's safe.
We have no idea,
especially after A-Train. But so Zoe then sees her dad, and she tells the truth. It's Maverick situation all over again. It's the exact same situation. They thought it was Homelander. It wasn't. They find out the truth, and Smear's like, burn it all down. I'm not helping you. And in that moment, though, you see like Kimiko like pets Terror, and Frenchie's like smiling at her, like, oh, maybe I could have kids one day and a dog and everything for her. And then he goes to he's like, oh, I'm going to shoot you if you don't stay. And Kimiko stops him. Let them go.
Kimiko's like, let him go. And then Samir and Zoe go on.
She's trying to make up for her past sins.
Which I get it. All right. I don't really fault her there at all. Like, she's acting, she was in a cage, and she's been, I don't fault her at all. I really don't. And unfortunately though, what, back at the, jumping a little bit ahead there, backing as we tie everything up with what's going on at the bunker, Edgar kind of betrays them there. He's going to lock them, as the Deep, Noir, Dog, they all get in.
Dog Knight, and then the lady that can crush the metal kind of thing.
Yeah. They,
and he's like, ha ha.
Edgar's like, peace. Karma. And then he gets captured by the Deep in them. Luckily though, Huey,
I think Noir grabs him. Oh, yes. But then this is a really crappy thing that the Deep then does.
The Deep knocks everybody. They get in the car and he puts the gas in there and knocks them all out.
Kicks Noir out. So then he can take
credit for it.
For bringing Stan Edgar.
To get back in Homelander's good graces.
And I love how they have the Deep driving a Cybertruck.
I know. Oh my God. But he leaves them at the bunker while everybody else kind of escapes. And, the episode does wrap up. However, Ryan foolishly tries to take on Homelander. He calls him, they face each other. And
fortunately, though, Butcher had bugged him.
Yes. And everybody has been, what is this scene right here? Who is Homelander beating up?
I thought it was going to be Butcher or Soldier Boy.
I would have thought it would have been anybody.
I never would have guessed Ryan.
But Ryan. He ends up beating Ryan, and while he's doing it, he's saying, this is for your own good. And
he did pause. He didn't finish him off. You can see he's still somewhat alive in that last scene.
We do think, like, at first I'm like, oh God, he killed his own son, Ryan, because that's a very Homelander thing to do. But then we do see Ryan kind of twitch after Homelander leaves. I don't think Homelander realizes that Ryan's not dead yet, but
I mean, Homelander could have easily ripped him in half or done something.
He could have done whatever. Yes.
I do worry now with this Divine and Madeline. Is he going to sacrifice his own son?
Very Jesus-like.
If he finds out he's still alive.
That's a good point. He is going to sacrifice his only son to be, cleanse the earth, if you will. Right. That is the big thing. But yeah, that's kind of how this one wraps. It was very intense, and I never would have thought it was Ryan that was getting beaten to a pulp. But also, Ryan, you idiot, you jumped the gun, dude. Stupid.
Yeah. Stupid. We did have Ryan though ends up going after Homelander though, and he asks him, he's like, "Did you rape my mom?" And he's like, "What? No, we had a It was an amicable affair. It wasn't a big deal." And he's not believing him. He's like, "Why is your heart racing?" So that was very interesting because he's flipping the tables on Homelander.
That's the first time it's ever really happened to Homelander too.
Yeah.
which is good. But
And it's
yeah,
also, we see Soldier Boy slept with Firecracker solely to get under Homelander's skin, and then it
yes, I forgot
backfired.
about that. Yes. Oh my God. Oh, poor Firecracker in this. You almost start to feel bad for her at points, but then you remember she's awful
Digging her
garbage.
own grave, 100%.
Yes.
She's just constantly like,
Everything.
but she tries too hard. I feel like we saw that in season 4.
Yeah.
Like right away, I was like, ooh, I feel like he's just gonna like blow up on her. But then she found a way to make him fall in love with her milk. But now he doesn't need her. And you see her face when he was drinking the milk? She's like, oh, what are you drinking? And she was like concerned.
She was hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it was tough, but the season's crazy, man. Everything, they're pulling out the stops, keeping us, I think this season has been really, really solid so far. Episode 3 was great.
Yes.
Ended insane. So
yep. And we end with Starlight taking off. She thought she lost Huey. She couldn't handle it. She took off.
Gone again.
And then we see Homelander cradle Stan Edgar's head as Butcher cradles Ryan's head.
Yep.
Very, very interesting.
Who knows what's going to happen next? But hey, if you're looking for some more boys content, make sure to check out Saturdays Are For the Boys, where Lauren breaks down the comic books and its similarities. I've been a guest the past couple of weeks. Normally it's Thomas. We've had Eddie on here. So it's kind of, guests come on, but Lauren is breaking down the comics. We got some similarities between the comic books and the TV show.
And we did get a lead at the end of this episode, which I'm assuming they'll take up in the next episode. We're going to find out why those Boy Scouts died in 1963.
Yes, we are. And there's Fort Harmony has been mentioned. So looks like we might be going to Fort Harmony pretty soon, which has been mentioned. We're not really sure what went on there.
Like it's like Captain America. Winter Soldier.
Absolutely is. Absolutely.
Give me those vibes.
Make sure though, subscribe and hit the notifications. Do not miss a post show. Don't miss Saturday for the boys. We'll be right here at nerdinitiative.com is where you can find Lauren's written reviews as well. We're going to be doing a lot of breakdowns. Hit up on our Instagram where we're going to be breaking down some of the characters and, who is Father, a lot of these character breakdowns that Lauren does really well. There might be another character that may or may not have been in Supernatural that Lauren's ready to break down. So do that. We will see you guys next time for the boys post show recap. Peace out. Don't beat your child within an inch of their life. It's only a metaphor, folks.